1, 2, 3, 4.
My name is Sean. I'm a film composer out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and I worked on Out in the Cold with JD and Elliot.
My name is Elliot Johnston. I was one of the composers for Out in the Cold.
I met JD through a project called Superhuman, and we had been working on that project for a little over 2 years.
My wife met JD, the director for Out in the Cold, at a networking event. It had nothing to do with music. Had nothing to do with movies, nothing like that. My wife shared that I was a composer, and met JD out for coffee one time, and he asked, if I would like to join Sean Adam Cody in co-composing, and I said yeah. Aside from 2 days ago, I had never met Sean in person, never seen him. I heard some of Sean's work, amazing compositions, but again, it was all either over the phone, Skype, whatever, email, text, all forms of communication other than being right here in person with them.
I think the main challenge probably was not being around each other, but it also kind of worked in an advantage too, in that standpoint. We got things done in our studio and it worked really well. So when we first started working on the project, the timeline was so short, so it was a little overwhelming for us, and I quickly understood that Elliot is a beast. He is an awesome lyricist.
Sean is, he composes music for like kind of a cinematic approach. Lots of strings, a lot of orchestral layering, really draw out what is happening and emphasize, almost like with a microscope, emphasize pieces that are happening within film work.
Elliot and I had a chance to both showcase our musical backgrounds and the influence that we can bring to the project. That was really the real beauty behind working with another composer, is being able to have two different people have influences on it. A lot of my influence came from the Lord of the Rings series with Howard Shore and the way he wrote such strong themes throughout that series. And I just fell in love with that process, and bringing it to Out in the Cold, which initially what we talked about was a great way to use themes in a non-traditional manner, because you don't really see that in documentaries a lot. Hope and survival were the two main themes that we were working with here. I look at it as two separate elements, the film score and the film. Somehow they meld together in this beautiful connection.
The whole film is about homelessness in Minnesota. Where do I stand with that? How do I feel emotionally about when I see somebody on the side of the road, somebody holding up a sign, somebody begging for money, somebody telling me a story about they've got to travel from X location to X location, they need gas money. I already had my thoughts about everything, and they weren't all that great, I mean, I didn't know enough about it. This film really uncovered, in a good light, what homelessness is really like.